So we'll start. So very good morning to everyone present here. And on behalf of IIM Vishakhapatnam, it gives me great pleasure to welcome our chief guest today, Dr. Garima Bhagat ji. Thank you, ma'am, for gracing the occasion with your presence. As we begin the celebration of International Women's Day, I think there is one thought that comes to all our minds, that do we need only one day specifically to be celebrating women? Uh, but I think it is important. There is a significance of 8th of March and the celebrations that we do today, and I see two main reasons that we should keep in mind when we are celebrating Women's Day. The first one being that, if all of us sitting here feel privileged, if we feel that we have the privilege of education, the privilege of having professional aspirations, and the freedom to enact those aspirations, if we are financially independent, all this has not come to us very easily. I think we stand on the shoulders of multiple generations of women who have come before us, who have probably fought patriarchy and paved the way for us so that we feel empowered today. So today is the day for us, not only for celebration, but also for commemoration for all the women who have come before us and have ensured that we feel empowered. Um, the second point of celebration that I see is, of course, we have, I think, fought the mindset of patriarchy. But in the process, we've also had a lot of allies in men. I'm sure the women before us have also had allies. And if we were to think of our lives and the privileges that we have, I am sure all of us here also can identify a lot of men who have been our allies in the form of our fathers, our brothers, our spouses, our male colleagues over here. I think it is also a day for all of us to thank our male allies who have facilitated and ensured that we feel empowered in this whole process. So let's make sure that we don't spend 8th of May just in celebrations, but also spend a little bit of time in remembering the responsibilities that we have to ensure that we pave the way forward for the women who come after us. So, with that, let me wish all of you a very meaningful Women's Day. Happy Women's Day to all of you. It is our privilege that on today's occasion, we have a really accomplished woman achiever with us, Dr. Garima Bhagat ji. Let me take 2 minutes to introduce ma'am to all of you. Dr. Garima Bhagat is a B.Tech gold medalist, M.Tech MA Economics, LLB gold medalist, and a PhD with distinction from IIT Delhi. She secured rank number 1 in her higher secondary examination and rank number 1 in engineering service examination, UPSC, in 1994. She's a 1996 batch Indian Revenue Service officer. With about 30 years of public service experience in the Government of India, Dr. Bhagat has accumulated extensive expertise in areas such as taxation, anti-corruption, public procurement, administration, and competition law. She has held several significant positions within the Central Board of Direct Taxes, CBDT, and various ministries of the Government of India. Notably, she served as the Chief Vigilance Officer at the Employees State Insurance Corporation, ESIC, and as Joint Director General at the Competition Commission of India. In 2024, Dr. Bhagat was awarded the prestigious National Award for Meritorious Service by the Honorable Finance Minister. Dr. Bhagat has also been a regular visiting faculty member at various apex educational and training institutions. She is the author of several research papers in leading international journals, as well as 3 books on taxation. Prior to her current role as Joint Secretary Land Systems in the Department of Defence Production, Ministry of Defence, Government of India, she served as a Commissioner of Income Tax in Delhi. She is also a part-time official director, government nominee director on the boards of many defense PSUs. Ma'am, it's our privilege to have you here today, and we are really looking forward to hearing from you. I now request our director, Professor Chandrasekhar, to kindly say a few words.
Thank you, Professor Anuradha. Let me add my own word of welcome to the chief guest, Dr. Garima Bhagat, ma'am. She has come all the way from Delhi on this Sunday to be here with us and to celebrate this occasion with us. So I owe a ton of gratitude to her. Uh, you know, Anuradha has introduced ma'am, and many of you will be knowing that IIM Visakhapatnam is the only IIM out of the 22 IIMs. You have one recently inaugurated at Guwahati. Out of 22 IIMs, IIM Visakhapatnam is the only one which runs a program for the officers of the defense sector approved by the Department of Defense Production, Government of India, and we are doing in that way our own small bit to building defense Atmanirbharata in the country. And this program today, if it has taken shape and growing well, that's because of the huge significant contribution made by Ma'am Dr. Garima Bhagat. And again, she deserves rich applause for her immense contribution to this unique initiative by our institute. Friends, as Professor Anuradha mentioned, we are gathered here today to celebrate the International Women's Day. And I would like, all of you are aware, and I would also like to reiterate our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion in all that we do in this institute. Just to cite a few examples, as many of you will know, in our 2025, that is last year's PGP intake, the girl students constituted 52% of the total, 2% more than half, as you can readily appreciate. And this is again a part of our commitment to build a gender balanced kind of cohort in the classes. The second thing, for example, many of you would be aware that we have roughly 53 faculty members, full-time faculty members on our rolls, and 40% of them are women. And it's our intent to take this 40% to 50% in a very short duration, as we see from now. So again, on that score as well, we would like the gender parity to be there, and we stand committed to that good cause. Why is gender parity, gender justice so very important? I was reading a McKinsey report. I'll just take 2-3 minutes, and then I'm reading from a dispatch which is available in the public domain, and it says, women in leadership are essential for driving organizational success, fostering innovation, and promoting economic growth. And this is by McKinsey and Company. The company says with businesses with greater female representation in executive roles drive 25% more growth in terms of above average profitability. Women leaders, the report reads, bring invaluable perspectives that enhance problem solving, and they tend to create inclusive work environments that attract top talent. And their collaborative leadership style not only strengthens team dynamics, but also promotes ethical decision making. And lastly, the report says, it is therefore imperative for organizations and institutions like ours to champion gender diversity and ensure equal opportunities. Empowering women in leadership is not only the right thing to do, It is a necessity for the success of both the business and society. So it's important for us, and whether it is leadership roles or whether it is at the operational roles, it's important for us to have this good gender mix. And as I said, this institution stands committed to improving that. As all of you know, we have an equal opportunity cell, we have a women empowerment cell to essentially protect and promote the interests in this direction. I'll conclude by saying 2 days back, this is the Economic Times of 6th March. Many of you would have read the article. The title of the article is Women in Leadership Roles Can Bring More Growth and Value to Firms. This article has contributions from Mario Marcis, who is a professor and area chair of economics at Johns Hopkins Carey Business School. And the article also quotes extensively Gary Becker, who is a very well known American economist, who is a 1992 Nobel Prize winner in economics. And what does it say? It says that women in leadership opportunities and in roles that contribute to the good of the society, they improve a lot of efficiency of working. And if we don't have the gender balance, it's a huge loss of talent to not only just a firm, but also to the entire economy. And it gives some statistics, which is quite, kind of disconcerting. They said that South Korea is, I'm just reading from this paper. South Korea is the kind of, in terms of countries, it is the best country in terms of gender parity. And the percentage of women in, roles is just about 44%. South Africa 39%, Russia 24%, US 22%, China about 20%. The world average is just about 19%. European Union 18%, UK 12%, India abysmally low at just about 7%. So there is a lot to do on bringing about gender parity, and I repeat for kind of reiterate that we as an institution, let us collectively commit to improving this gender parity in every walk of working in the institute, and may the institute prosper on the contributions made by our women colleagues and girl students, ably aided, as Professor Anuradha rightly put it, by the men colleagues and also the male students. Thank you very much. God bless all of you.
Thank you, sir, for emphasizing the importance of women being in leadership and also emphasizing the need for institutions like ours to focus on gender equity and inclusion. And as a women employee of this organization, I can vouch for it that the Institute does provide equal opportunities for all of us. Now, this is the time that we have been waiting for. I request Dr. Garima Bhagat to kindly address the gathering.
Good afternoon. Fine. Good afternoon to everyone. Yeah, sorry, I can come in the middle. Okay. So it's a pleasure being here amidst so many young people, and it's indeed a privilege for me to be here on this special day. I had some PPTs, one on gender, one on SMART goals. I'll see how much I'll turn to the PPTs. I'd rather share some of my thoughts with you in person since I have the opportunity. So Women's Day, as you said, yeah, it's been over 100 years that Women's Day is being celebrated. And I don't know if you know, it began basically as a worker and a political movement. And in fact, the Russian Revolution, one of the triggers was the protest by women workers. And that is why 8th March, the date is, and then the UN adopted it much later. So that time the fight was the right to bread, the right to equal wages, the right to safe working conditions. Women were paid much lower for the same work that they did. Of course, things have changed over 100 years, but we still have a Women's Day. And I always feel that, we never have a Men's Day. So long as we keep on feeling the need to have a Women's Day, it tells us that there is something which is still to be done. We are still not quite there where we should be, where we ought to be, which is our natural, organic right to be. We have the statistics showing why women participation is important. Lot of research is there, and that's absolutely true what Professor Chandrasekhar just shared. In fact, one of the common things which was found in good organizations was the percentage of women workers. If you study, you will find that. But my question to you is even more fundamental. Why do we need to show productivity statistics to claim something which is ours, right? Women have an inherent right to be there. So what has been stopping? Why are women only 7% or 8% in the workforce? Why is it still a predominantly man's world? What is holding women back? And for that we have to, I think, challenge our thought process. And my this question is to both the male participants who are here and the female participants who are here. Please challenge your thought process. If there is just one takeaway from today's event of Women's Day, let it be this: question the stereotypes which are so firmly ingrained in our mind that we take them for granted. Everyday examples, I'm sure all of you, go through this. Like, I'll give you an example from 2 days back. I like to play golf in my leisure. I'm a golfer. And I can't tell you the number of men who have come to me and said, आपके husband भी खेलते हैं? So I said, मैंने तो नहीं पूछा, आपकी wife भी खेलती हैं. Why are you asking me this question? Can I not start playing a game on my own without my husband having to bring me to the golf course? So, and these are elite people who are coming to play. But still, the thought process hasn't changed. If the process in our head doesn't change, our actions will not. Isn't it? And, so long as you see the advertisement of there's one particular ad which I find really very, very kind of, it shakes me to my core. And that is of this, I don't know which atta brand it is, but the woman who is happily serving these puffed rotis, and, the man and the son are eating on the dining table, and the woman is in a state of bliss because she has served these hot puffed rotis, brought them to the table. Now that is, if you see such things, does that make you question certain realities in our world? If yes, then I'm sure the day is not very far when we do not need a Women's Day. Because, of course, the two genders are complementary. They are beautiful differences. And there are certain natural strengths of each gender. That is why the world, the creation has, two genders. But for a lot of these roles, there is no need for there to be a gender differentiator. A washing machine will run just as efficiently if a male presses the button. It's not the woman's job, always. And, I talk a lot to my young colleagues, and of course, things have changed. But I still find that they say that, नहीं मैम, हम तो help करते हैं, अपनी wife को बहुत help करते हैं घर में. So I say that the fact that तुम help बोल रहे हो, इसका मतलब है तुम्हारी thought process change नहीं हुई है. You take it as a given that the work is hers, and what you are doing is helping her, supporting her. So, unless we, and please let us all realize that, as Anuradha ji, you said, that these take generations to change. thought processes are the most difficult because the conditioning is so deep that it does not happen overnight. But if we even if it starts registering on us, the change is starting, and it will happen because we will teach our children and our youngsters the same thing. We have all come across parents who, if a son is crying, ladki jaise mat ro. Are you a girl? Have you heard? Any one of you has heard such a thing? So now, what damage are we doing? Not only to the girl, but also to the boy, because we are teaching our boys, our sons, our men to be emotionally repressed, which is, in fact, one of the reasons why men are more prone to heart attack, to high blood pressure, because they are taught to repress their emotions. So it's a big disservice that we are doing. And, surprisingly, of course, I take 2-3 hours workshops on gender sensitization at workplace. We do not have the time for that. But there are so many stereotypes which we even bring to work. We often patronize our, women workers, and the behavioral differences continue at various levels. A very senior lady officer once said that, when this junior young officer comes to me, he stands with his hands in his pocket. He will never stand like that when he comes to a senior male officer. So I can count endless examples of how, there are still so many areas where we can improve, we can work upon. But I'm very confident that this is happening already. In our own times, we are seeing the change. And IIM Vizag, of course, is very fortunately placed to have 40 to 50%. Last year, you said 52%. If there are so many women on the campus, I'm sure it's, uh, it's a great thing for all of you who are here. Just I am just reminded of this budget day. You read out from the Economic Times. Economic Times carried after the budget day an article on finance minister's saris over the budget day over the years. I don't know if any of you read that. There was a big article, and over the years, because Madam FM has presented many budgets, so they said this year she was wearing this, so the symbol, the message was this. And the finance minister said that I wonder if they would have ever done it had it been a male presenting the budget. So, of course, that's not to take away from the pleasure of wearing beautiful saris. Okay, but on a serious note, dear friends, as you step out into this world, do it with a very broad mind. And yes, women in senior positions are very far and very few in almost all sectors. In the defense sector where I'm currently, it's very very usual for me to find myself as the only lady in a room with say 50 or 100 men. But that's okay, things will change. Even in the board of many of our big companies, despite there being a mandatory requirement of a lady director once the turnover is above a certain limit, many companies, including our Maharatna PSUs, did not have and still do not have. And that's because वो बीच की positions में है ही नहीं. To become the BOD, to be a director on the board, you need to have traveled certain levels. And there was a committee which was set up by DOPT to examine this, and I was a member of that committee. And we found out that that's because many women refused certain postings because to pick up your promotion you had to be posted in a particular place, but they refused because of family reasons. So, this is something sad. We need to support each other, and I strongly believe in mentoring, young women, girls, ladies, be the support system for each other, and also for the men. That it's really important that we take into account the sometimes the requirements of women are special. They do have certain roles. So we need to, gender equality doesn't mean that there is no difference. We have to recognize, appreciate the differences, and I'm sure the world will be a better place. Our organizations will work better, achieve better results in every metric, which was just shared by Professor Chandrasekhar. So with that, I think I should probably also devote few minutes to this PPT. Please tell me when I'm running out of time. So, friends, smart goal making is important. Goals are important. The last slide of your presentation, Professor Chandrasekhar, today was on the goals before I am Vizag. The near term goals and the long term goals. Life without goals is directionless, right? Now, how should we frame these goals? How should we act according to these goals so that we act in a smart way? And that is smart goal setting. I'm sure most of you would have heard of smart goal setting. So, let me see what more we can share on smart goal setting. Okay, so I'll not stick to the text of the presentation, just share my thoughts aloud. How many of you today did some exercise in the morning? You can raise your hands. There won't be many hands, I suspect. Okay, the others just did not do it. Something, some physical activity did you do? Any time of the day? Or do you do it any time of the day? Evening or so you see, we have some 15 or 20 hands up. Others are either, not raising their hand, or they truthfully they are admitting that they did not do any exercise. So, friends, this is also actually something to do with goal setting. If you set a goal for yourself, you will be there. The 10,000 step thing, which has become so popular that all of us have heard of it. There's no one, unless you were living under a rock, you would have heard of the 10,000 step rule. So that's actually a smart goal, because it is specific, it's measurable, it's actionable, it's realistic, and it's to be done in a day, so it's timed. That is a classic example of smart goal setting. And why do we even need goals? To bring some discipline in us, isn't it? And let me tell you, friends, as you start your journey in the world in a time of 1 year to 2 years, one thing which will carry you forward and set you apart is discipline. Discipline is key, and discipline is one thing where most of us can really improve a lot on. As a nation, I think we can improve a lot on discipline. Remember that it is discipline which will, do make you do even simple things like getting your exercise. Don't count on motivation. Motivation is subjected to fluctuations. Someday you will be motivated, someday you will not be. If you depend on motivation for anything in life, then you will be always vulnerable to external inputs. But if you become more and more disciplined, you do not need external drivers. It becomes a habit. It becomes a habit. And then, you naturally do it. So, this is a very simple thing, but actually a very profound thing. See how you can implement it in your day to day life. Okay, now the various things which come to us in our life on a day to day basis, we have things which are urgent, not urgent, important, and not important. I don't know if you've seen this matrix, but this is actually when you begin, right now I would say that I know you have a very, very busy day. Your faculty has briefed me about how packed your days are. But still, I would say it is unidimensional, because here you are studying. Here you are doing something which is for yourself. Tomorrow you will step out, you will have to address a spectrum of responsibilities. Okay, now how do you decide what to do? So you always have to classify things into urgent, not urgent, important, and not important. Things which are important and urgent, do now. Not urgent, you schedule them on your calendar. I always do it. I really, there's a lot of cognitive offloading, because if I mark things on a calendar, whether it's my, Google calendar or whatever, I know that, okay, I can do this 3 days later, but it's important, I must not forget it. So you have to have these cognitive aids to help you not lose sight of things which are not urgent but they're important. I need to have this checkup. I must schedule a day for it 10 days from now. Then there are things which are urgent but not important. See if you can delegate or automate these things. And this is particularly, I speak to all the women who are here and also the men. Lot of work, even at home, is such that we can delegate. Please do not feel ashamed to delegate it. You must use your time for the things which you can do best. If your kitchen is not spick and span, if your house is not shining, like some hotel room, it really does not make a difference. But if you did not do any exercise, or if you did not spend time with your family members for half an hour, that makes a lot of difference. So learn to delegate, learn to automate, learn to outsource the things which are not important. I would rather spend, I spent a lot of my free time. I mean, whatever time I got after office, I spent with my children, because that was the best thing I could spend on them. I never spent money on them, spend time. And that's a great thing to spend on any relationship. And that is possible if we kind of lower our goals for the things which do not matter that much. Things which are not urgent, not important, either delegate, automate, or even decline. The art of saying no is something which came with a lot of difficulty to me. My personal experience, I was always, in my initial years, I would say yes to everything. And then I realized that it's not a good idea to say yes to everything. You have to know when to say no, and say it with confidence. This is again an advice which you will realize will help you in a lot of situations. Okay, so we all know that the goals that we set should be specific, they should be measurable. Anything, if I am setting it as a goal, I should be able to measure it. Now, how do you measure it? Either you can measure it in time, in terms of the output, or you can break down your goal into, a list of activities and then tick off. I don't know how many of you are fan of that ticking on the list thing. I am a big fan of, making lists and ticking them off. It's really like therapeutic for me. Sometimes so much so that sometimes I've done things away from my list, so I put them in the list and then tick, just to have the satisfaction of ticking them. So the idea is that break up your goal into sub activities so that you can keep a tab on what you are doing and whether you are progressing or not. And you will not need to do it not only for yourself, you will also need to do it for your teams. When you step out, when you start working, you need to give goals to your team members. And you cannot give them, a very long list. You have to assess the capability and the ability of each person and then give the list of activities accordingly. Now, yeah, of course, what cannot be measured cannot be monitored. Very, very true. What you cannot measure, most likely you cannot monitor. So, which is why measurable goals are really good. And of course, goals must be achievable. No point having goals which are not achievable. They will only make you depressed. Which is why there's a study that over 90% of the New Year resolutions fail. They are known to fail. And that's because they are not realistic. So, if you study the pattern of gym memberships, in the first week of January, they will peak. Many people will sign up for gym memberships, but 80% of those people will not turn up after 1 month. In fact, there are studies that if you do a certain thing for 3 weeks, you'll probably end up doing it. And this is supposed to be true. There are a lot of studies which have been done, which have shown this. And incidentally, I don't know if any one of you has done inner engineering. We have art of living, we have inner engineering. There are a lot of these programs which are there. I have dabbled on and off with these different forms of introspection or meditation or whatever you call them. So inner engineering has a very interesting format that after they do the workshop and teach you, after that they say that for 3 weeks you have to do it twice a day. So I asked Sadhguru, because I took, when I took the workshop, he was there. So I said, why this? So he said, that's because if you do it for 3 weeks, we are sure you will end up doing it for the rest of your life. And actually that makes things sticky, things become sticky. We are all creatures of habit. Professor Chandrasekhar, when we came to your room and sat for the second time, we sat in the chairs where we had sat for the first time. Even if chairs are not allocated, you go into an empty room, you come back after a break, you will 99% end up in the same place. So we are prone to sticky behaviors, which is why it's important that you do a certain thing for a certain time, and then you will find yourself doing it repeatedly. And this is also the result why some of us are prone to addictions of different types, right? Okay, then timely, of course, time management is it will be one of your best assets, your strongest assets. If you truly want to become an achiever, and actually being an achiever, I think you should be much more than an achiever. Achiever is still a low goal. Being a fulfilled person, I will say that. For you to be a fulfilled person, management of your time will be the best thing that you can do. And the whole Srishti, the whole universe is very kind and very fair, that there's only one thing which is important in life, and that is time. And that has been given equally to all of us. We may have different assets and different levels of wealth, but time sabko barabar diya hai. What you do with that time. Now, coming to SMART goals, is your goal timed? Do you finish your activities on time? See that. If you consistently find that you are breaching your own timelines, not imposed, your own timelines, then probably you need to see what is wrong. You need to take some corrective actions. Do you find that happening? You find that happening? All of us do at some point. At your age, I know you will find, because there's so many distractions. There's so many things that you want to do. So, how to identify, this? I call this thing the time stealer. There are many time stealers. You just analyze any one day of yours, and you see what was your time stealer. Was it just, I think picking up the mobile phone is the best way to drown in half an hour or 1 hour of some timeless state. So it's good to keep the phone away at a distance. See what your time stealer is. For everyone, it will be different. If you identify your time stealers, you will find that you are actually creating time for the things which are important to you. I just shared in our faculty interaction that our Honorable Prime Minister does 75 minutes of exercise every day. So, the busiest people in the world actually have time for everything. They have time for a lot of things. And if a person is constantly saying, मेरे पास time नहीं है, मेरे पास time नहीं है, that means that something else is wrong. Wrong means not wrong, it's something else needs correction. We can probably manage our time a little better. So, for that, plan ahead. Always plan ahead. It's good to plan ahead. Don't wait for the last minute. Set your goals correctly. Prioritize wisely. There was this Eisenhower matrix, the same as in important, urgent. Organize yourself, remove non essential tasks, remove the clutter from your life. And clutter can be in a lot of ways. It's not just material clutter, there can be a relationship clutter also. As you age, as you grow, as you evolve, you realize that there are some people who bring no value in your life. They bring negativity, they bring toxicity. So, clutter can be of that type also. Then this FOMO thing. All of you know FOMO. It's your lingo, your vocabulary. You do know FOMO, right? या FOMO भी पुराना हो गया है? Okay. So I think FOMO, the new thing is that FOMO is being replaced by JOMO. I just heard it. Joy of missing out. It doesn't make sense to go to every meaningless party or every senseless interaction if you are not feeling happy about it. It's good to be on your own. It's good to spend time with the people you value. It's good to spend time in your hobbies. So that is, take break between tasks. A little downtime is also important. You need to recharge. You need to reload. Every one of us needs a me time. And I say this especially to the women who are there, particularly the women faculty, because the students are, as of now managing only themselves. But I find most of the women I interact with, when I ask them, what is your me time? They say, nothing. So that is actually very sad. You need your me time. And then, people say that आपको me time चाहिए because आप अपना ख्याल नहीं करोगे, तो how will you take care of your family? I am against that. Please don't justify your me time because you have to take better care of someone. Do it for your own sake. You owe it to yourself. You are not born just to take care of everyone. You have to take care of yourself and take pride in it. There is no need of being ashamed of being aware of your own needs, right? So that is a message. And may I just share a couple of other messages if we have 2-3 minutes? So, friends, before I leave and wind up my talk, I have already spoken of discipline. There's also one thing which you will realize as you evolve in life. That is, till you're in your teens and in your second decade, your IQ is important, right? As you grow, your emotional intelligence becomes very important. Your social intelligence becomes very important. How are you connecting to people? How are you aware of your environment? How are you empathizing with your team workers? That will determine what kind of relationships you make with people. And at the end of the day, in whichever stream you are, this is what will take you far, your emotional and social intelligence. And then, at a certain level of maturity, your spiritual intelligence, because that will help you in taking the right decisions, that will guide you, guidance will come to you. So these are, be aware that there is something beyond IQ. There are higher forms of intelligence, interactive intelligence, how you should behave, how you should talk to people, which will stand you in very good stead. Secondly, I always emphasize a lot. I have already spoken about the me time, about the need to do some physical exercise. And particularly in a hall which has so many young people, I will again at the risk of repetition, I will say that please get that exercise. That's, physical exercise is more for your mind than for your body. When you exercise, you release so many feel good hormones, your endorphins, your serotonin, your dopamine. These really, we are ultimately driven by these chemicals. So, as far as possible, create time every day till it becomes your habit. कुछ तो करना है, whether it's a walk, whether it is gym, whether it is whatever, but you need to work yourself out. Believe me, I in my work sphere, all of us in fact would notice the people who are doing something are always more energetic. They bring a lot of enthusiasm, energy, and they are more productive at workplace, right? So this is my second message, that do it. And I think with this, I will end my talk, right, on that note. Of course, and okay, another thing that I just looked again at the I am Vizag logo, and your logo says Vidya Param Devatam. Education is the supreme deity or the supreme virtue. So, my message for you is do not stop growing. Your education should not end when you have your convocation and pass out from the campus. Have that hunger for learning, that passion for learning for your life. It's a great thing, to be just growing all the time. I can say that this is something I have done. I have at every stage of my life, I have embarked on an academic journey, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And the moment I find myself becoming comfortable, I challenge myself, and I shouldn't say I create a disruption, but I take on a challenge so that there is something which is again stimulating growth. So you will realize that when you pass out from here, if when you meet at your 10-year reunion or 15 years reunion, you will find what beautiful different trajectories all of you have taken. And I can share that those of you who keep on growing, it's not just only about degrees, please. Grow in whatever direction, pick up a hobby, whatever direction, but keep on growing, keep on learning, whether it's learning a new language, a new skill, whatever. So, this is again something which will give you a lot of pleasure in your life. So, ultimately, it's about living a life of fulfillment, and that is something which we all deserve as both men and women. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I had introduced you as a woman achiever, but I think we've got so many tangible inputs from your speech, largely saying that more than achievement, fulfillment is what we should be focusing on. And to be a fulfilled person, the inputs that at least I have taken back is one, be extremely focused on the unconscious biases that we might have. And of course, because they are unconscious, we need to make a special effort to understand our biases. Second thing is the focus on routines or discipline more than waiting for some, the day I'll be motivated, I'll do something. So I think practice and routines is what ma'am focused on. Focus on self improvement, me time, continuous learning. And I think a lot of things that, especially us women, would probably take back is prioritizing. Though we do teach the Eisenhower matrix, I don't know how much of it we really implement. So, cognitive offloading is one thing I think is very, very important for all of us. And finally, to be a fulfilled person, I think kind of assessing where we are in terms of emotional quotient, spiritual quotient, and social quotient is extremely important. Thank you so much, ma'am. Coming from somebody who's been there, done that, I think it adds a lot of value. We move on to the next item on our agenda, In the last 1 week, ma'am, we've been doing a lot of events, competitions, as to basically focus on Women's Day. So we would like to request Professor Chandrasekhar and Garima ma'am to kindly come forward for the prize distribution. I'll call out the names. I request the people to please come up on stage to get their prize. All right. Okay, so we had done some events for our outsourcing staff. Musical chair. Second prize goes to Narsi Amma and G. Rama. G. Rama. First prize goes to B. Lavanya and G. Kondamma. Uh, Pin the bangle. Second prize goes to L. Lakshmi. Unnara? No, we also have one for men. The first prize goes to M. Devi. We had a game of tug of war. Team 4 won it. Sridevi, Janaki, Paiditalama, Gaurishwari, Malleshwari, Padma, Jyoti, Vaishnavi, Jhansi, Padmavati. So, మీరు నించోండి సార్. Thank you. Now I'll announce the events that we had for the students. There was a quiz held for the students. The third prize winner for the quiz amongst the students is Swaraj Kanwade. Second prize goes to Bhavisha Manglani. It was a quiz about women achievers. We are happy that the first prize goes to Abhishek Wagmode. హరీష్ పోస్టర్స్ అన్ని చేసి చూపిస్తారా ఎవరితో పోస్టర్స్ కాదు ఇక్కడ ఈ ప్రాచీది చూపిస్తారా అండ్ టైం లేదు థ్యాంక్ యూ We also had a poster making competition for students. The third prize goes to Prachi Singh. So, is this the one which Prachi? Yeah, so this is Prachi's poster which is being displayed over here. The second prize goes to Neelima Chaudhary. This is Neelima's poster that she. Yeah. The first prize goes to Divya Gorai. So the same quiz was held for faculty and staff also. So the third prize in the quiz goes to Mahima Bansal and Priyanka Ji. Two people have got the third prize. Priyanka? Mahima. Priyanka. No, she is Mahima, Priyanka is not. Okay. The second prize goes to Jaisimha. The first prize goes to Professor Jyotsna. For the poster making for staff and faculty, the third prize goes to Mridula Devi. Is this Mridula's poster? Yeah, the poster is displayed here that she had made. The second prize goes to Varuna. And the first prize goes to Alekhya Vandana. I think let's go down and then we can post it. Because there are already. Thank you. I would like to duly acknowledge the posters were actually evaluated by Dr. Sumitra, who's the head of our women's cell, and she's a former professor of law in Andhra University. So an external has evaluated them. So I'd like to place that on record. Okay, we also had games for staff and faculty. This is for the female category. Grab the bottle. Second prize, Durga Devi. Durga's daughter is here. Is she Durga's daughter? No. Yeah? Okay. Well, Papa, na? So this is Durga's daughter who's come to. The first prize goes to Mridula. Build Burj Khalifa. Second prize goes to Mahima Bansal. The first prize goes to Mamta J and Indu. And pin the bangle. There are two people who got the first prize: Jyoti, Kunti, and Mahima. Three people, sorry.
Come, please come. Please come. Come here. Yeah.
We're in a spirit of camaraderie. All our male staff and faculty members also participated in these games. So grab the bottle for male category. The second prize goes to T. Vishwanath. I think Vishwanath is not here. Okay. The first prize goes to Professor Pankaj. I think Professor might also be in class, so he's also not here. We'll share the gift with him. And build Burj Khalifa. The prize goes to Vishwanath and Professor Pankaj. Both of them, again, are not here. So a round of applause for all the winners, please. Yeah. Sir, I request you to kindly give a token of appreciation to
Yeah,
our
please.
ma'am, please.
The memento. So, on behalf of all of us here, ma'am, thank you. Token of our respect to you.
Lakshmi.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my privilege to deliver the vote of thanks today. I would first like to express the opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to our director, Professor M. Chandrasekhar, for his address on improving gender parity and the role our institute plays on the same. It was a very insightful address, and I also thank you for your continued encouragement for initiatives that foster an inclusive and supportive environment at IIM Visakhapatnam. I would also like to extend our heartfelt thanks to our chief guest, Dr. Garima Bhagat, IRS, for gracing the occasion and sharing such insightful thoughts on founding of Women's Day, its need, how our unconscious biases lead us to the experiences we have, how we can improve on gender equality, smart goal making, and also the importance of having a me time, physical activity, and growth. My thanks to Professor M.V. Anurada, Chair, Executive Education Programs, for the warm welcome and for introducing our chief guest and setting the tone for today's celebration. I would also like to acknowledge all the faculty members and staff present here for their constant support in making events like this possible. A sincere thanks and a special mention to Professor Shamim Javed sir for delivering a session on financial literacy for women. This session highlighted the importance of financial awareness, thoughtful planning, and informed decision making in enabling women to build long term financial security and independence. I would like to thank all the members of administration. A special mention to Kalim sir, Ramu sir, and Pradeep sir, the PGP office, the PMO office, and the IT team for actively conducting all the activities and for managing all the logistics throughout the week and for today. Congratulations as well to all the winners of the competitions. Your enthusiasm and creativity truly added to the spirit of today's celebration. And of course, thank you to all the students of IM Vishakhapatnam for your active participation and for making the event lively. On this note, as we celebrate International Women's Day, may we continue to support, encourage, and uplift the women around us, not just today, but every day, so that more voices are heard and more dreams are realized. With that, I once again thank everyone for being here and making this celebration meaningful. A very happy International Women's Day. And on that note, I would like to request the dignitaries on stage to go join the audience as we have a few cultural performances lined up after this.
Well, I request everyone to be seated, please. Well, to continue the celebration, I would like to. There were a lot of posters which were submitted. Guys, I request you to kindly be seated. So these were the other posters which were submitted. Thank you so much for all the people, everyone for participating in this. And as part of the Women's Day celebration, we had also requested our community members to share their views on particularly those two things. We approached our female community members to express their ideas about what does empowerment means to them. And we approached our male faculty members to let us know what does being an ally to a woman means to you. So these are a few of the ideas which were shared by our community members.
And especially in my life, based on my experience, when I'm surrounded by women, I tend to be less biased because they bring a great perspective in any decision making that I take. And I feel much more balanced. And I also feel highly empowered. Surrounded by women.
And as a woman in academia, I often ask myself this question: what better profession do I have than being a professor, where I get the chance to inspire so many young girls to take up space, to have their own voice, and never apologize for that.
Especially an ally to women or the women around you. Check in your house, check in and around your workplace. Do the women have the financial autonomy? Do they have the independence in their actions? And what can you do to sort of help them achieve that? In doing that, in trying to do that, at least you can be a true ally. That's what I've seen across people in my life and also the studies that I've done.
Investment in women is the smartest investment. Empowerment of women can be considered as the smartest investment. There will be question on what they are saying. So simply conveying empowerment is something where a woman freely expresses her ideas, lives life on her own terms, and has the ability to manage both her personal and her professional life in a better way.
We look for the alignment with the boys and girls together. The women empowerment means that when men also try to experience things not by their words, also with the judgment, also with their actions, they have the right judgment for the girls and the women to provide them equal opportunity everywhere. Also, we need to create an environment. That's what we are working throughout our PhD program and all the activities we keep doing throughout the year, so that women are empowered, they are cut off from all the personal biases.
So being alive for a women, for me it's like the idea of it's a responsibility of all their lives to make them comfort in the institutions like I am Visakhapatnam, make a collaborative environment. So it's for me like responsibility to break the bias today, every day for them, and make a safer and collaborative environment for them to get the growth.
Development begins with opportunity, voice, and leadership. When women are truly empowered, organizations transform and societies flourish. This Women's Day, let us celebrate each woman out there with their confidence, strength, and brilliance.
Being an ally to women does not necessarily mean that celebrating Women's Day on one particular day. It means much more than that. I have been sitting with a women leadership of more than 10 members as senior coordinators and under my leadership only, and hearing to their perspectives, you are hearing to what diversified opinions that they bring in on the table is also a lot helpful, not just to the working and the operational capabilities of the cluster, but also to the overall development.
To me, women empowerment is about equal opportunity, be it in education, career, or in leadership roles. It's about freedom, the freedom to choose, to dream, and to take the path that she wants. It's about being heard. A woman's voice, opinions, and ideas should be valued and respected. It's also about financial independence and confidence. It's about removing the barriers that hold women back.
It is my independence to voice out my own opinions without the fear of being judged just because I'm a woman. And this strength comes from the education access that I have here. The quality education has given me the strength to develop my own critical thinking and analytical skills that will further give me financial independence. So for any woman to be empowered, a good quality education and a family and social support is important.
Empowerment to me means being able to make my own choices, being able to do what I want to do without being restricted by what society tells me. If I want to be a doctor, I'll be a doctor. If I want to be an accountant, I'll be an accountant. And if I want to be a housewife, I'll be a housewife. So it's not something where I have to do what other people say, but then
I make my own choices. Even if they're wrong, I learn from my mistakes and I go ahead with the same.
यदि कोई महिला अपने जीवन का निर्णय खुद ले सकती है, जैसे उसकी कहीं नौकरी करने की इच्छा है और उसमें प्रतिभा भी है और उसको सामाजिक रुकावटों का सामना न करना पड़े, वही उसके लिए महिला सशक्तिकरण है। आज भी कई गाँव में, कई प्रांतों में महिलाओं को पुरुषों से कम माना जाता है, उन्हें कमज़ोर माना जाता है, कमज़ोर प्रतिभा में माना जाता है। अगर वो ना हो तो वही महिला सशक्तिकरण है।
Women empowerment means education, freedom, about the choices what they can make, opportunity and strength. So empowerment means itself having a confidence for a woman. Equality is just not a privilege, it's a human right for us.
Women empowerment is not about flower, hashtag or Monday applause. This is about the courage a woman carry every single day, the courage to stay ambitious without being selfish, the courage to stay kind without considered a weak person, and to prove themselves in a room where their competence still question them.
Government is not giving powers to women. It's more about recognizing the power they already have. So whenever they found a good opportunity, she always rise up, and when she rise up, they rise the all generations with her.
Women empowerment is just that, to lead where my gender doesn't define or limit me, to create impact, to persuade and decide in rooms where gender is not taken into consideration, but what takes a front seat is capabilities. Thank you.
Women empowerment for me is all about equal rights, opportunities, freedom, and respect in all parts of life, like work, leadership, personal choices, etc. So, women empowerment, rather than external support, I feel it should be internally self-driven, like with self-belief, etc. And not just this day, but every day. Be bold, be independent, be passionate, and be strong. Happy Women's Day.
Empowerment, according to me, is about being bold enough to speak up and courageous enough to stand alone if needed. It is about saying no without guilt and yes without fear. It is about breaking the chains of patriarchy, challenging the outdated norms, and choosing our own path. Happy International Women's Day.
Happy Women's Day. Happy Women's Day.
Happy Women's Day. Happy Women's Day.
Happy Women's Day.
Happy Women's Day. Happy Women's Day. Happy Women's Day. Happy Women's Day.
Happy Women's Day. Happy Women's Day. Happy Women's Day.
And especially in my life, based on my experience.
That was wonderful. So in the next 15 to 20 minutes, we have a couple of performances lined up for you. I would like to first invite Lasya. Lasya is going to perform some yoga postures. She's a very multi-talented girl, and I'm sure you all will enjoy her talent. Lasya, please come. Are you ready? The first pose will be Pranamasana. Ready for next? Next one is Tadasana. Next is Vrukshasana. Next is Chakrasana. Next is Samakonasana. Next is Rajakaputasana. Wonderful. Next is Purna Bhujangasana. Next is Lolasana. Next is Bhakasana. Next is Tithibhasana. Next is Ekapada Sikhasalasana. And the last one is Yoga Nidrasana. That is stunning. That's Lasya for you. This is years of hard work, dedication, flexibility, balance, stunning. Thank you so much. For the next performance, I invite Mr. Udav Krishna. Yes, sir. He is passionate about writing poems and all, so he is going to show us his skill today.
Happy Women's Day to everyone and very good afternoon. अपनी कविता से पहले मैं दो पंक्तियाँ कहना चाहूँगा वुमेंस डे के बारे में। नारी ही अनंत है, नारी जीवन का तंत्र है, ममता की ये मंत्र है, नारी सबसे न्यारी है, बेटी बहन माँ पत्नी हर पात्र में प्यारी है दुलारी है, नारी दुर्गा चंडी और कपाली है, दुष्ट दलन को माँ जगदम्बा है काली है। मेरी कविता का शीर्षक है तुम में भी मैं हूँ। ना विचलित हो ना धीरज खो, ना बैठो मन से हार कर, टूटे पतवारों को तोड़कर अब दरिया पार कर लो बस तैर कर, स्वतंत्र हो जाओ विचारों से सारे अमानुषिक व्यवहारों से, होली जला दो निराशाओं की, बीज बो दो तुम आशाओं की, डरो मत डटे रहो एक दिन तुम्हें भी वो प्रकाश दिखेगा, ज्ञान का वो दीपक आप ही तुम्हारे भीतर जलेगा, नए नज़रिए से देखोगे दुनिया तुम भी, मन मस्तिष्क के स्वामी बनोगे, खुले आसमां में तुम भी एक दिन गोते भरोगे, चिंता के सारे बंधन तोड़ दो, छल कपट का दामन भी छोड़ दो, एहसासों को बस एक नया मोड़ दो, प्यार की छतरी अब तुम भी खोल दो, ज्ञान की उपासक बनो और वाणी की पुरोधा, सील के साथी बनो और आदर्शों के प्रणेता, प्यार और विश्वास की गठरी बांधकर यात्रा शुरू कर दो घर त्याग कर, याद रखना तुम्हारे डगर से गुजर चुके हैं कई, मैं भी आगे वहीं मिलूंगा बस चलते रहना, कदम न रोक देना पत्थरों से हार कर, टकरा जाना सारे मुसीबतों से तुम मुट्ठी बांध कर, हंसते हुए सफ़र खुशनुमा करना, मन में कामयाबी की लौ कभी ना बुझने देना, वक्त बेवक्त पेट में लगी आग को भी बुझा लेना, सफ़र तो लंबा है कहीं रुक कर कुछ खा भी लेना, याद आने लगे घर की तो चलते हुए ही कोई गीत गुनगुना लेना, धोखे में मत रहना तुम में भी मैं हूँ ये बात बस दोहरा लेना, तुम में भी मैं हूँ ये बात बस दोहरा लेना। This poem was written on the concept of Ardhanarishwar. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Uday. Our next performer is another young talent. I request Ishita Vani to come onto the stage. She is the daughter of Miss Mahima Bansal, and she is going to deliver two performances, one a devotional song and then followed by another fast moving song, I guess. Oh.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ishita Vani. Today on Women's Day, I'm gonna sing two songs dedicated to women. माता कालिका तू कल्याणी माता कालिका तू कल्याणी चंदिका जगत जननी भवानी माता कालिका तू कल्याणी. Now I'm gonna sing an English song. I used to bite my tongue, get home my breath, skid rock the boat and make a man. So I said quietly, agreed politely. I guess I that forgot I had to try. Let me push me back the breaking point. I stood for nothing, so I fell for everything. You held me down, but I got up. Already brushing off the dirt. You hear my voice, you hear that sound. Like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I got up. Get ready, cause I had enough. I see it all, I see it now. I got the eye of the tiger, a fighter, dancing through the fire. Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion. Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. You're gonna hear me roar. Now I float like a butterfly, still like a bee on my strap. I went from zero to my own hero. You held me down, but I got up. Already brushing all the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound. Like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I got up. Get ready, cause I had enough. I see it all, I see it now. I got the eye of the tiger, a fighter, dancing through the fire. Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion. Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. Oh, 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 oh. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. You're gonna hear me roar. Oh, 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 oh. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. You're gonna hear me roar. Thank you.
We are definitely hearing you roaring. Well done. That's 11-year-old Ishita for you. Wonderful. Very well done. Next one, I invite Naya Shelly to come onto the stage and deliver a wonderful performance. Please.
आफ्टर हर परफॉर्मेंस मेरे को ऐसा धक धक हो ले रहा है ना. ठीक है, ठीक है. दिस वंस फ्रॉम माय डैड्स प्लेलिस्ट.
पिया पिया बोले मत वाला जिया, तूने ओ रंगीले कैसा जादू किया. पिया पिया बोले मत वाला जिया, बाहों में छुपा के क्या किया. ओ पिया ओ तूने ओ रंगीले कैसा जादू किया, पिया पिया बोले मत वाला जिया। पास बुला के गले से लगा के तूने तो बदल डाली दुनिया। नए हैं नजारे नए हैं इशारे, रही ना वो कल वाली दुनिया। पास बुला के गले से लगा के तूने तो बदल डाली दुनिया। नए हैं नजारे नए हैं इशारे, रही ना वो कल वाली दुनिया। सपने दिखा के क्या किया तूने पिया, तूने ओ रंगीले कैसा जादू किया, पिया पिया बोले मत वाला जिया। ओ मेरे साजन कैसी ये धड़कन, शोर मचाने लगी मन में। जैसे लहराए नदिया का पानी, लहर उठी मेरे तन में। ओ मेरे साजन कैसी ये धड़कन, शोर मचाने लगी मन में। जैसे लहराए नदिया का पानी, लहर उठी मेरे तन में। मुझ में समा के क्या किया तूने पिया, तूने ओ रंगीले कैसा जादू किया, पिया पिया बोले मत वाला जिया। बाहों में छुपा के क्या किया तूने पिया, तूने ओ रंगीले कैसा जादू किया, पिया पिया बोले मत वाला जिया।
And our last performance for the day, but definitely not the least, I would like to request Miss Kunti to come onto the stage. She is going to perform Bharatnatyam.
चंद्रचूड शिव शंकर पार्वती रमणा निनगे नमो नमो। चंद्रचूड शिव शंकर पार्वती रमणा निनगे नमो नमो। सुंदरतर पिनाक धर हर, सुंदरतर पिनाक धर हर, गंगाधर गजाचर्मांबर धर, गंगाधर गजाचर्मांबर धर। चंद्रचूड शिव शंकर पार्वती रमणा निनगे नमो नमो। चंद्रचूड शिव शंकर पार्वती रमणा निनगे नमो नमो। ಕೊರಳಲಿ ಭಸ್ಮ ರುದ್ರಾಕ್ಷವ ಧರಿಸಿದ ಪರಮ ವೈಷ್ಣವನು ನೀನೇ, ಕೊರಳಲಿ ಭಸ್ಮರುದ್ರಾಕ್ಷವ ಧರಿಸಿದ ಪರಮ ವೈಷ್ಣವನು ಕರುಣಗಮನ ನಮ್ಮ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನ ಪ್ರಾಣ ಪ್ರಿಯನು ನೀನೇ ಚಂದ್ರಚೂಡ ಶಿವಶಂಕರ ಪಾರ್ವತಿ ರಮಣ ನಿನಗೆ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ ಚಂದ್ರಚೂಡ ಶಿವಶಂಕರ ಪಾರ್ವತಿ ರಮಣ ನಿನಗೆ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ ಚಂದ್ರಚೂಡ ಶಿವಶಂಕರ ಪಾರ್ವತಿ ರಮಣ ನಿನಗೆ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ.
I request all the and with that we come to an end of all the performances, but I request you to kindly be seated. I request all the participants to come out to the stage. Lasya, Udav, Vani, Nashali and Kunti. And I request all the professors to please come and give them a gift, please. All the, Madam, Anuradha Madam, please. Anupama Madam, please come out to the stage to appreciate them. Girls, please. Lasya, Vani, Udav, please come. Thank you so much. You are wonderful. Please come. One step forward, please. Hi. Madam. Sir, please come. Yes. Hi, Madam. Madam, Madam, please come. Next, Sujati, thank you for the poem. Nashali. Kunti. Kunti was ready from 9:30 onwards in this costume. It takes long time. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful performance. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Huh? Bus next, sir. And thank you so much for coming to attend this program. And with that, we come to an end of this wonderful celebration. But as we said, the spirit of celebrating women and their company, we should continue not just for this day, for the entire years to come. Thank you so much for your coming here. Students dining arrangements are in dining hall, and the faculty and staff can have it here. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.